It's important, and we try to talk to them, but sometimes it's not enough. They have to live through it. So big win today, big one. The road trip so far has been a positive one, right? We got the big boy tomorrow on the mound, and we got Bayo the last day. See how it goes, but just keep putting up good at bats. I think offensively, we kind of have found a stroke, a rhythm in Tampa, and today was another good day.
It was a good day, Skipper, and today's a good day, too. Here on Hump Day, or Crochet Day, as we call it, Wednesday, September 24th, welcome to the show that everyone's talking about in their group chat. I mean, that's what we do. What are you talking about? We're talking about it right here inside the Salem 5 studios for Boston has entered the chat. Travis Thomas, George Malecki. I call him Boston George. I never misspell your name, my brother, ever.
I do sometimes by mistake myself, my man. Always good being on with you. Sox, what a big win, man. They proved me wrong. Bat showed up. Bullpen showed up.
Yeah.
Giolito was just good enough. We'll see what they do. And I'm excited to get in some talk, too. I know we'll be talking Drake Maye, of course. Can't do it without that.
Yes.
And also Jayson Tatum.
Bro, why didn't he come to our show? Jayson Tatum did every show in America yesterday.
I texted him. He left me on. I'm joking. He did not.
Come on, JT.
There's a little, we're almost there. Today's show, Good Morning America, First Take.
We're almost
The chat almost has the same pull as them.
We're JV to their varsity. Is that what you're saying? We played before them, and then they come out.
Yeah. They're varsity. We're like 7th grade JV.
Whatever. We hooping, though. We hooping.
Yeah.
Hey, call us 617-790.
Prospects.
Yeah, facts. 617-790-0928. Call us. Get in here. You know we're talking your Red Sox. That's where we're starting here because, hey, look, fighting for their playoff lives. Last night went exactly as I predicted. If you remember, my friend, I told you, Lucas Giolito needed to show up. Now, he is grinding out these starts. There's no doubt about it. I don't give a damn. Keep grinding them out. Keep doing what you're doing. Last night, it was another grind out, but he did it. 4 2/3, 1 earned run. Okay, 3 punch outs. Okay. Not your best outing ever, but you did what you needed to do. You didn't blow it. We talked about it yesterday. He had pitched well in some games, but caught L's because he wasn't getting run support. And then when he would get touched up, he would get run support. So it was a little kind of helter-skelter. Last night, I thought he did what needed to be done. The bullpen killers came in. Whitlock, I'm looking at the numbers, just untouchable. Wilson, Slayton was nails. And then once Chapman shows up, we all know, lights out city, you lose. That's how that goes. I thought last night was the formula in which this team is going to get to the postseason and have any shot at doing anything in the postseason. Great pitching, great defense, timely hitting. I know where you're going to go here, and you're not wrong, but timely hitting. Give me some clutch hitting here.
Yeah.
And then Alex Cora, the puppet master, tinkering where he needs to, making the calls and the adjustments and the plays that need to be made. That's what he does the best, and that's how the Sox win. They muck it up, they ugly it up, and we saw another game like that last night, and they got it done.
Yeah, they did, and I think the 4-1 win was big because they jumped all over Kevin Gausman and got him and had 4 earned runs on him. Lucas Giolito just 1 earned run, but only went 4 2/3, so that's why we see Justin Wilson, Justin Slayton for Whitlock and Chapman. But you know what? That's where you give Alex Cora credit because he understands. All right, I got Giolito tonight, but I got Crochet tomorrow. So I can empty out the pen. Let me use Whitlock and Chapman to guarantee this win here. And you know what? Tomorrow will be a Steve Matz, or tonight will be a Steve Matz, Greg Weisser type of game because I know I'll get 7, maybe 8 from Crochet.
That's right.
Especially with them messing with how the rotation goes, so he has the rest that he normally needs in order for game 1 of a potential wild card series. So he pressed all the buttons right. And as I was saying yesterday on the show, Nathaniel Lowe, you can't strike out with the bases loaded once, let alone twice, and with runners on the corners. 2 singles, RBI, great. Masataka Yoshida, 2 hits, great. That's what you need in the depth of the lineup. Jarren Duran, Alex Bregman combined 0 for 9, though. That can't happen.
Yeah.
You have the guys stepping up, back of the lineup. Everything's going to have to click because no matter what, end of the day, this lineup does not have the depth. You're not going to get that from Nathaniel Lowe every night. You're not going to. When you have a Carlos Narvaez, same thing, going just 1 for 4, but it was a double. Good, you got the extra base hit, and he put on those 2 other RBI, fantastic. But that's a guy that's been struggling long term. If they can get unconscious for 2 weeks, all bets are off. This team can do it. But they just don't have that foundation in that base. And the same thing, Ceddanne Rafaela, just 1 for 4. He needs to put together quality at-bats. They're moving him up in the lineup, change up some things, maybe he does better. I just still don't trust the back end. Hitting 4 through 9.
I get it. And look, I love arguing with you. I can't argue with you there. But what you're speaking to is horsepower. Let me come from a different angle here.
Yeah.
Can this team just finally, even openly talk about it? embrace small ball.
Okay.
Here's why I bring this up, and I know you watched this game too. Last night, I watched the Guardians literally, fundamentally take apart the best pitcher in the game. Skubal was on the mound for the Tigers in a must-win situation for them. They need to stop the bleeding, win that division. Guardians are hot, right? We know the backstory. Well, you get to last night's game. George, the Guardians small-balled them to death. It was death by 1,000 cuts. They made Skubal come off the mound, make plays in the field. He couldn't do it. He was throwing the ball all over the damn place. He mentally broke down. They won that game in a low-scoring affair. 5-2 was the final score in that game, okay? But that's what the Guardians do. I think the Red Sox right now, with the injuries, with everything going on, they are built the same way. Just play small ball. Embrace it, though. I think with the big three, assuming Bayo pitches well tomorrow night, all eyes on you, Brian Bayo. This is your moment. You have not been pitching well lately. This team needs you to pitch well right now, going into the postseason. You got to get it together, okay? But with the big three, with him, Giolito, and of course Crochet, they're going to keep you in games, knock on wood, right? You just need to play defense, not lose it with errors and brain farts, right? And then just give me a couple runs here or there. All these games, when you get to October, and starting now, really, all these games are low scoring. All these games come down to a moment here, a moment there. I watched the Guardians dismantle the Tigers last night with this style, and I'm thinking, how come the Red Sox just don't lean into this?
Yeah.
We're small ball from here on out. This is what we're going to do.
That's always been the Guardians, right? Always.
That's their identity.
For 157 games, have we seen the Red Sox lean into small ball?
No.
And the simple part of it is when you can get walks, you take it. Cedane Rafaela, as electric as he was in June, and as good as he is in center field defensively, he's the best in Major League Baseball. He needs to understand smart at-bats. And that means taking a walk. Yeah. Now, I get fighting, staying alive, getting up the pitch count.
Sure.
But when you're chasing balls so far outside of the strike zone, you have no business even fouling them off. That can't happen because he's always hunting for hits. And that's fine. But if you want to play small ball, you have to understand getting on base, especially when he's hitting ninth. And then you have Duran, Story, Bregman to follow you up at that point.
Right.
That's what takes it for small ball. And I haven't seen it for 157 games. Yeah. And guess what? Post Rafael Devers trade, we kept saying small ball, small ball, small ball. And we haven't seen it. Alex Cora could want it. His hitting coaches could want it. Maybe Cora doesn't. We could want it. But when you have guys in the box that continue to swing for home runs, home run or bust, or continue to swing at pitches they have no business even looking at and paying attention to, that small ball is not going to happen. This team does need to embrace it. They do need to look at the Guardians and play that.
Yes.
But it's been 157 games.
I know.
I don't think 158 all of a sudden it's going to click and they're going to change their whole approach at the plate. That's the issue with it.
That's why I said I love arguing with you, but I hate when you're right and I can't argue. It just takes all the air out of my sail. I hate it.
The Guardians had Tarek Skubal long snapping a ball to first base.
Bro.
That's how much he was pressing.
Yes.
That's how much he was pressing.
Yeah.
And that's what it does when you get guys on base. You're putting pressure on them.
They were bunting on him on purpose, bro. I just think this team, how it's built, because of injuries. I get if Roman Anthony's out there. Yes, hit the ball to Pluto, okay? But that's not what this team is right now.
And you can think, yes, I can hit this ball over that fence. That's fine. But what wins against this pitcher?
Right.
A bunt, a single, getting on base, making him press.
Manufacturing runs.
They were good against Kevin Gausman.
Yeah.
They got 4 runs on him, all earned.
Yeah.
The bullpen put together a no-hitter. They only allowed 1 base runner.
Facts.
From the end of the 4th inning on. That's fantastic. But what wins? That's what they have to do. Not what do I do well? What is his weakness and how can I attack it? And what do I well to expose his weakness? That's what the Guardians were doing against Skubal.
Yes.
The Red Sox just haven't shown that yet.
Thank God the pitching showed up. I told you Giolito's numbers: 4 2/3, 1 earned run, 3 punch-outs. He did okay.
Yeah.
Here's his here's his own assessment on his performance last night.
Yeah, it wasn't good. It wasn't pretty. But at this point, winning games is all that matters. I don't care if I get a win. I don't care if I go whatever amount of innings. At this point, it's about winning these games, getting into the postseason. I obviously didn't have much to work with tonight, so it was a grinder. It was a battle. We were able to get out of big situation. I did have 1 inning that kind of got away, and we were able to limit damage there, which was good. But really credit to the bullpen coming in and really shutting it down after me. Only going 4 2/3 like that.
How satisfying was it just to kind of limit the damage in those spots where the game really could have taken a turn?
It was extra satisfying because I really didn't have much today. So just to be able to execute, trust Narvi's plan, and get out of those situations, make sure that we limited was very important.
Again, I know I sound like a broken record, but I really believe this. This is the formula for this team. I think it's the pitching. I do. And I do think that this is who he is at this point. Like his last handful of starts have kind of all looked the same.
His velo has dropped off.
Yes, he's grinding through these. I don't necessarily think there's anything wrong with that because the reality is when you sign him in the offseason, no one ever wants to talk about this. I don't give a damn. I like talking about it because it's the truth. When we signed him, there were no expectations. First of all, can the guy stay healthy?
Yeah,
that was number one.
And he did it off the bat when
That's
he
right.
signed.
Can he stay healthy? And then can he finally live up to the hype? Because his whole career, he's had the stuff. He's had the name. He's had sort of the expectation, but he just hasn't been able to put it all together. He has done all the above here in Boston. He has stayed healthy. He has put it all together. Great. But I think Pete Giolito, this is what it looks like. He's going to grind out these starts. I'm fine with it, right? Just be consistent, which he has been. Crochet, I don't even need to go there. Even if he loses tonight, we know what Crochet does. So I'm leaving him out of this. I'm going back to Brian Bayo here as I address this big three. Brian Bayo, and I touched on this a little bit before we heard from Lucas Giolito, but this is his moment. This is the guy I'm looking at, George, because not only because he hasn't pitched well lately and he's just kind of due and he needs a really good start here, but moving forward, if Brian Bayo can get back to what we saw this season with him, where he really settled in, all the development seems like it's paying off. It finally, he pitches well against the Yankees, except his last outing. It seemed like everything was kind of coming together for him. If he can get back to that, this team's going to be a problem in the postseason because you can go Crochet, Bayo, and Giolito, and then you just need one of these young guys to step up every now and again for that fourth, fifth start. You're going to be all right. And this bullpen has shown you time and time again, when they're rested, they are together. These guys are nasty. I think the big three, Giolito, Bayo, and Crochet, as far as they go, will determine how far the Red Sox go in the postseason.
And Giolito, the velo hasn't been there in September. Brian Bayo, the ERA has been a 5.86 in September. Crochet's been Crochet.
Yes.
The starting pitching needs to show up. And again, they don't have the bullpen depth. And I'm talking about the middle innings. Whitlock, Chapman are a guarantee. It's getting there. It's getting there with the lead. And that's where the bats need to stand up. They have a phenomenal ace. They have two phenomenal closers. It's a lineup in the middle of the bullpen that is concerned, and that matters in playoff baseball.
You hear George. What do you say? 617-790-0928. Miguel agrees with George wholeheartedly about the bats needing to step up for the Sox. Take a listen.
Yes, my name is Miguel Rodriguez, a very, very diehard Red Sox fan for many, 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 many years. I hope they make the playoffs. But again, the Devers trade was terrible. At these times, that's when they need Devers. What they got back from Devers is nothing. But if you really, in reality, who in the Red Sox lineup are the opposing pitchers afraid of? Nobody. Nobody. Red Sox need a bat. They got money now. Let them go get a bat next year. Not just Bregman. They need a real bat there. They need somebody that's going to give you 35, 40 home runs. That's what they need. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
I mean, I get what he's saying with there's the now and then there's a future, so he addresses what this summer can be, but he's right. We saw the Boston Red Sox start the trade deadline on Father's Day. We saw that sense of urgency from Craig Breslow and Sam Kennedy to get Rafael Devers off of this team.
Yeah.
What was the return? Along with getting that contract off the books, James Tibbs, who's flipped for Dustin May, who's been optioned down, Phantom IL stint. We all knew Dustin May was not a major league pitcher this year. That's who they traded him for. Jordan Hicks, still developing, has no location. When the ball leaves his hands, he has no idea where it's going to end up. And he was supposed to be a high-leverage relief pitcher to help out this bullpen. Did not pan out. Kyle Harrison, fine in his debut, still a prospect. We don't know if it'll be long-term. And then Jose Bello, 42nd overall prospect for the Red Sox. So that's who you got back from Rafael Devers. Two guys in AAA, one being a spot start in the back of your rotation, another guy we may never see put on a uniform. For a meat of the order, best bat in your lineup, and when he's hitting a top three hitter in all of baseball. And look, you got rid of him. The culture mattered. That mattered. What he was showing to the young prospects, Roman Anthony, Marcelo Meyer, Christian Campbell, you didn't want to see. That's fine. You wanted Bregman and Trevor Story to be the standard. Love that. But then when it came to the actual trade deadline, because they had the urgency to trade away Rafael Devers on Father's Day, but they didn't have any urgency until 15 minutes before the trade deadline to pursue Joe Ryan.
Right.
But let's talk about bats. Josh Naylor, Eugenio Suarez, now with the Mariners, both above an 800 OPS, both really patient in the box with good eyes and draw a ton of walks, so it goes to small ball too.
Yep.
And neither were traded for more than a top 10 prospect by the Mariners.
Suarez went to the Phillies, right?
Suarez is with the Mariners. They're both in the Mariners lineup now, Eugenio Suarez and Josh Naylor. And he's playing third.
Yeah.
And guess what? Alex Bregman comes back from injury.
Yeah.
He could have been your DH instead of Masataka Yoshida because you have Eugenio Suarez out there. And maybe that would save his legs.
Right.
But Bregman's been good in third. The bat hasn't picked up. Ryan O'Hearn, who ends up with the Padres. Big lefty bat.
Yeah.
First baseman.
First baseman.
So Josh Naylor, Ryan O'Hearn, both first
and
basemen.
look at them.
Which they've needed.
Sure.
Because it also goes into, they DFA'd Abraham Toro right after the deadline. He was slumping and he was not good the 2-3 weeks leading up. That didn't happen out of nowhere. This is a team that chose 2026 and 2027, which is fine in a way, but you don't know if you're going to get Garrett Crochet again to lead Major League Baseball in inning pitch. You don't know if you're going to get that big fella, as Cora likes to call him. You don't know if you'll get that ace again. That's not a guarantee. It's unfair to this lineup and in a wide open AL. And a wide open AL, that includes you, where if you mess around, you can win. But guess what? If they got a if they got a Josh Naylor, if they got a Eugenio Suarez, if they got a Ryan O'Hearn, a Zach Gallen, a Shane Bieber, who they're going to see for the Blue Jays. Joe Ryan wasn't going to work. The Minnesota Twins didn't want to trade him, but they were so locked in on him, they couldn't get anyone else. So they end up with Steve Matz and Dustin May, and Matz has been fine.
Yeah.
But they needed to add in the lineup, and they didn't.
Yeah.
And now they're paying for it. And look, right now they're a game up of the Tigers in the wild card standings, which is nuts. But that's one game. That's one game.
Right.
And the postseason is going to come down to 162. And we'll see what happens. And who are they playing? The Detroit Tigers in the last 3 games of the season.
Oh, my God. You can't make this stuff up, man. Hey, no show is complete without Alan, who's in Arizona, but from Lawrence. He loves Red Sox talk. Let's get his state of the Sox. Take a listen.
Hey, guys. This is Alan from Lawrence, now in Arizona. Okay, I just want to clarify my Red Sox take. I love the season we've had. If you told me at the beginning of the season that we would be in the race with a spot 6 games to go, ecstatic. I still think they've had a wonderful season, especially everything they've gone through. The tragic part is having gotten this close, and they seem to be unraveling. Okay, like Travis said, just make it in is a win. Just make it to the playoffs. Everything else is fine. You can leave with a good taste in your mouth if you just make it into the wild card, right? Then anything can happen, sure. I agree with that. But right now, I think that is project number 1. Number 2 is you have to hope that Bregman opts out of that contract. He is not worth $40 million. I think he's been given way too much credit. He is not the player that maybe he once was. And I would rather see that money go to Schwarber. Okay, so I am fully on board. I'm just saying, as a lifelong Red Sox fan, this is the nightmare scenario. That's all. Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Nightmare scenarios.
Get in. I want them to win a game. It's only best of 3. They're most likely going to be on the road because only the top seed of the wild card teams gets that home series. Get Alex Bregman off. Well, he has the player option, so he has all the leverage.
That's right.
He has that deferred money. To say he's not worth it, he dealt with a serious lower body injury middle of the season. And since he's been back, his legs haven't been there. And that happens at his age. And he's dealt with hamstrings in the past. So that's fine if that's your issue. But what he's been defensively, shoring up the third base side in that hot corner. That's why they got him.
For sure.
Because they've had a liability out there. As good as his bat was, he was a liability at third base. And the leadership. The reason you get rid of a Rafael Devers is because lack of leadership. The reason you value an Alex Bregman is because of leadership. He's done the job of a hitting coach. He's done the job of pitching coaches, helping out the pitchers. He's mentoring the young guys, the big 3 that's going to come up. I'm not going to stand for any Alex Bregman slang.
Me either.
Look, his power's dropped off. He hasn't been producing the home runs. He hasn't been that bad. That is why you're paying him that. He's also dealing with a very serious injury, and he returned to play for this team because he could have collected that check anyway, let the injury linger, and still opt in to get $40 million next year and not care. No, he's doing his job as best as he can. This is a banged-up team, and this is where it comes into. Tristan Casas injured. Christian Campbell in AAA. Roman Anthony, Marcelo Meyer injured. Rafael Devers traded away. Hunter Dobbins, Richard Fitz, Cutter Crawford, Tanner Houck. They are doing everything in their power to overcome 9 significant injuries and a trade away that I just listed off. Alex Bregman's a reason they're overcoming that. Yeah. I'm not standing for any Alex Bregman slander.
Me either. And Alan, I'm so glad you agree with me about just get in the postseason. That's the win. I want you to know, though, that I hate that that's the case because the standard here, as we all know, is get in the postseason and do some damage and win World Series. But I do believe this core group, the young nucleus, will get it done in the years to come.
As it stands now, Tigers at Guardians.
Yeah.
Red Sox at Yankees.
Yeah, dude.
For those 2 wild card series in the AL.
You know what I hear? American League wide open. Mariners and Blue Jays with byes. I'll take it. I think the Sox could get hot. Mess around and get hot. That's all you got to do.
Best of 3 series.
That's it. 617-790-0928. Call us. Get involved in the program, would you? When we come back, Jayson Tatum gets involved. He was talking to everyone on God's green earth yesterday. We'll break it down. And remember this, get the latest up-to-date live. We've got Boston sports headlines along with your daily dose of trending sports and social topics every single weekday, baby. Right here on Boston Has Entered the Chat. Catch us live at 8 a.m. on Nesson and 9 a.m. right here on Nesson Nation every Monday through Friday.
You know, from my perspective, it's like I live a great life. I've accomplished a lot. I've been able to take care of my family. I've largest contract in NBA history. Like, I've done everything I've, set out to do, and I'm not complacent. There's still a lot of things I want to do. Right. I'm certain I'm not the only person that feels like they don't get enough credit. I think that's just the nature of being one of the best players in the NBA, that you're going to get criticized, when things don't go the right way, and you feel like you never get enough credit. So I'm not going to say, like, everybody's against me or anything like that. I'm certain my mom might feel that way. And people close to me. But, I haven't thought about it that way. I know there's a lot of people, a lot of fans out there that appreciate what I do, what I bring to the table. So it's more about the people that appreciate what I do, not trying to gain, people that don't appreciate me.
How about that? Introspective Jayson Tatum yesterday on First Take and every other show.
Today's show, GMA.
He was on everything.
He was awesome.
He was great, and that was a great soundbite. And I'm actually glad. I feel like he had an ode to Celtics fans there of, like they appreciate me, but I feel underappreciated elsewhere. And he's right. Look, the NBA constantly talks about the face of the league, and we hear all these names. It's very rare. And the only times you hear Jayson Tatum's name is from us. It's from people in this market.
Yeah.
But it's very rare to hear his name come up in that. And I think it should. I think he is underappreciated, sort of big picture, George.
I like it because Tay and I on Hold My Banner, check it out wherever you want your basketball
Great
podcast.
show.
We were talking about like 2030, right?
Yeah.
Who could be the best player in the league? And Jayson Tatum was put out there. And then we get into the top 5 combo, which I do love with hoops, because it's in 2030 especially, in Edwards, Wemby, Cade Cunningham, right? Could be SGA still, could be Jayson Tatum. They're the same age.
Yeah.
And then you could get more and more into it. He should be in that conversation. What I loved seeing him on ESPN, on GMA, on Today's Show, first off, he was on those shows. Like, I stopped him, like, Jayson Tatum's doing those interviews because I've covered him in the press conference setting. After a game, after he works out post-game, which he does right away because he has discipline and work ethic. And like you said, no complacency. He's working to be better. And that was stuff he was doing after he won the NBA title, right? Up there, press conference, doesn't like being up there. You could feel like the social anxiety. Bright lights, 30 people up there just staring at you, asking questions, right? He wants to get out of there. He was fantastic on those shows. He's a guy, I think, he loves hoop. I don't think he loves everything that comes with it. And that's not in a bad way. He just wants to ball. But he's in more commercials. He has the shoes. He's doing that roundabout. He's still maturing. Because, again, all this, he was the man at Duke. He was drafted top 3 by the Celtics. He was a man since he got here. He's 26 years old. Maturation-wise, he's had to be 35. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, he had to grow up quick. And I think that's still coming along. The confidence is still following. And what I like about what he says, criticism comes with the territory of being a great player.
Sure.
He understands it. And I think he's doing a lot better job of not caring and blocking it out. Yeah. Because that's what makes players great. Use it as fuel, but don't use it as something where that's a barometer. What you and I say. Times where I'm critical of him. Yeah. I think he's a top 4 player in the league. I think he's fantastic. He needs to get better. But he doesn't take that to heart anymore. And again, that's the maturation we're seeing.
This is the beauty of the show. George Valekci is debating top 5 NBA players in the year 2030. Travis Thomas is trying to make it to 707 tonight to see Crochet shove. And I'm not convinced I'm going to make it. You know what I mean? That's the beauty of the show. Call us, 617-790-0928.
You will.
But wait, you think so?
Yes.
But wait, there's more. Jayson Tatum talked about, hey, I am healing at superhuman speed to play this season. Take a listen.
For one, this is like maybe the third time. I haven't said I'm not playing this season.
Okay. He was kind of looking at us sideways when we brought that up.
So
I'm thinking Achilles. All right,
no,
that's
for sure.
fair. That's fair.
The most important thing is a full recovery, being 100%.
That's right.
Not rushing.
Yeah, don't rush back.
At all.
Don't do that.
But also, I don't go to rehab 6 days a week for nothing. Okay. But with that being said, with being a part of the organization and the Celtics, there is a standard that we play to, that we uphold, regardless of, who we have in the lineup, who's on the team, who's not. There's a sense of pride that we have when we put that uniform on, and we always are competing to win a championship. And that standard will not change.
I love the Celtic pride reference there.
Full recovery.
Full recovery.
So what I love in both of those answers,
Yep.
the first sound we heard off the bat,
Yep.
he said, I live a great life, period. He said that. He stopped. He paused. I live a great life. And then just now talking about his recovery, he goes, I don't go to rehab 6 days a week for nothing.
Right.
He knows he lives a great life, and this is a guy that's so smart and so aware. He understands what does sound intense, does sound difficult. Going to rehab 6 days a week to get back from an Achilles injury is difficult. But he's like, my job's basketball. Like, I live a great life where I have to wake up, and the main thing I have to do right now is go to rehab for my Achilles and get my strength in my leg back, right? He understands that. But as he pointed out, when he's talking about returning, what does Stephen A. Smith say? Full recovery. And he said, full recovery.
Yeah, don't rush it.
That's the important thing with all of that.
Sure.
Because he was asked earlier, right? Stephen A. and Shea Cornette did a great job in that conversation with Jayson Tatum. But she did ask him earlier, yeah, you're most likely not going to play this season. He kind of let it go. And that's why he opened up with, I've heard it 3 times. Look, I'm busting my butt. I've never said I'm not coming back. We know what his dad said right away, 8-9 months. That's the Kobe timeline, right?
Right.
And his dad knows what he's doing, putting that on the public. Tatum idolized Kobe Bryant, wants to be Black Mamba. Yeah. Kobe did 8 months. Why can't you? But the full recovery is the most important part. I don't want him on the floor. I don't care the situation for the team, Trav. I do not want him on the floor unless he's 100% full recovery. Do I think that's realistic this season? No. But am I going to rule him out? No, because we've seen the physical step-ups he's taken. This is a guy that already has discipline. He understands how to take care of his body, how to be available. He never misses games. One of the most underrated parts, everything he does. Defends 1 through 5, initiates an offense, has a full bag of tools, never misses games. He has a discipline. I don't want him on the floor unless there's a full recovery, and I won't rule it out.
I'm going to rule it out. I hate to be rain on the parade guy. I usually get at rain on the parade guy.
You're being a realist.
I'm raining on the parade because I don't believe the Celtics are going to be in a position to want to have him back. They're not going to be in any contention this season.
Why not?
They're not talented enough, George.
The East
all
is
the
weak.
aprons, all the money, all of this, all of that. This team has been decimated. Outside of Derek White and Jaylen Brown, respect. I'm not even, and I love Pritchard. I'm not
Respect
sure
to Peyton Pritchard.
I love Peyton Pritchard. I love him coming off my bench. I'm not convinced he's a starting point guard, okay? That's just me. But outside of Derek White and Jaylen Brown, who I know what I got, this team's not any good. I'm sorry. So why in the hell would I bring back Jayson Tatum this season for what? A play-in game? No thanks. How about if I'm the Celtics, respectfully, after yesterday and all these sound bites, I would sit him down in the most respectful way ever, in the most loving way ever, and I would say, listen, brother, we love that you're working so hard to come back. And if we are in striking distance of a top 4 seed or whatever it is, we got a chance to win a championship this season, we'll have you back. But if we're not, you ain't coming back this season. I would tell him point blank, so there's no miscommunication, no hurt feelings. And I would think Jayson Tatum could accept that. I would think. If they're out of contention, George, no shot I'm playing him this year. And I think they'll be out of contention.
If they're out of contention, they should not bring him back.
I agree.
But how the East falls, there's a Magic and there's an
Okay, that's
I don't know
different.
where Giannis will be post-trade deadline.
That's different.
The Bulls are the Bulls. They stink. I don't know where Donovan Mitchell will be post-trade deadline.
That's different.
I don't know where other teams out there. Pacers are without Halliburton. Sixers are without
I'm just
Embiid.
saying out of contention, George. I'm not saying if they're in it, then I'm with you. If they're out of it, I'm not bringing him back.
If he's 100% and they're a 6th seed, I'm bringing him back because also, you know what's important? important the year after. The chemistry with the Payne Pritchard on the floor, potentially an Anthony Simons, with the Chris Boucher playing the 5 spot. That's what's important. We'll see post-trade deadline what Brad Stevens does, and we'll see how recovered Jayson Tatum is.
617-790-0928. Where do you weigh in on all the Jayson Tatum stuff? I mean, he's talking, he's getting all his feelings out there. How do you feel about this? Do you want him back this season, or are you with me? Put him on the shelf like an elf. When we come back, what's trending in the world of sports? Next, right here on Boston Has Entered the Chat. Give you a little Christmas reference there.
Too early, man. Seeing Halloween decorations already. It's almost October, but...
Time now for what's trending in the world of sports. Sports.
There's a reverb at the end.
That was very nice. Celtics gold standard jerseys
have you seen
been
these
unveiled.
yet?
I have not seen them. This is an organic reaction from Where's the Green? Other than that, I think they look great. This looks very New Orleans Pelicans.
That's why it
does. It looks New Orleans.
You're the Boston Celtics.
It does.
You're one of the most storied franchises in all of sports. Where's the green?
Just a green trim.
Where's their shamrock? Where's there a leprechaun? Where's there anything with the city? The gold standard? Is that an ode to the Bill Russell days when you won all those rings to start with Red Auerbach? Have a cigar somewhere on here? I don't know. Have an ode to Matthews Arena?
I agree.
The old Boston Garden?
This
to
is
any of the
fire,
legends?
though. It's fire. It just needs a...
It's generic. It's generic.
I need a twinge of green.
If you took off Boston on the front and you put, I don't know, St. Patrick's School of the North, some random high school in Massachusetts, you go, oh, it's a nice high school jersey. You're the NBA and you're the Boston Celtics. Why is the gold and white? You look like the New Orleans Pelicans. You look like the Washington Wizards.
That looks like the Saints.
The gold era.
The New Orleans Saints.
The gold era jerseys just go back literally to whatever the Celtics wore in the gold standard, the gold era, whatever it was. Those Bill Russell jerseys, just run those back. It's so easy.
Janae, can we see the tweet again? Because I'm being told this is a leak. This is not like a Celtic. Okay, so this is a leak. Now look at the jersey. It's all disheveled. This is a leak. The Celtics, if they put this out, it would be probably on a green background. They would really sell it. There'd be a shamrock somewhere.
Do you remember the leaks of the Red Sox City edition, the new Fenway ones?
Yeah.
Look, there's no red. At least it's the green monster green. Right?
Facts.
If you're not going to have green here, then at least have something that's an ode to the, the parquet floor of the Boston, of the TD Garden. That's what I don't understand. Literally, New Orleans Pelicans. Literally, New Orleans Saints.
I don't dislike it as much
Literally,
as...
the Washington Wizards.
I don't dislike it as much as you, but it just needs just a skosh of green somewhere.
Their last few alternates have gone so far away. Like, again, if the Celtics wore that and you're watching a game, and say the game's in, I don't know, Utah, right? I don't know why they'd be wearing them, but there'd be white jerseys wearing these in Utah. You'd go, who are the Jazz playing?
Yeah, you wouldn't know.
They're playing the Pels. Wait, is that Jaylen Brown?
That color, bro, that color scheme's like Vegas Golden Knights or like New Orleans Saints. It just doesn't, it's not Celtics. I'll give you that. But I like the gold and the white. I just think you need something. You need some green or a shamrock or something.
The number could be green. The outline could be green around the green. The number could be green. The outline could be green around the gold.
That's what I think.
You're the Boston Celtics.
I think the outline around the
green and white.
The green outline around the gold would be fire. Bro.
It's awful jerseys.
Maybe they're still being workshopped.
Revisit this. Let me know when your son, who by the way, he's still on the team, right? He's
on the Celtics.
No, your son. You haven't cut him, right? After we're talking yesterday.
Oh no, he's done. Yeah, we shipped him off.
Okay,
he's been traded. He's been dealt.
Whatever you acquire via trade assets. The next one. Let me know when your kids go, Dad, I want to get a Jaylen Brown jersey. You go, okay, show me which one. And they show you this one.
Yeah, I didn't.
You would spend your money on that?
I didn't get much in the deal, I'll be honest. I got cash considerations and a draft pick to be considered
So
later.
you could buy a jersey for your daughter with the cash consideration.
That's exactly right.
If she wants a Jaylen Brown jersey, you'll go yes.
Yeah.
She brings you that jersey. What are you going to say? You're going to spend your money on that?
Absolutely not.
Why not?
Well,
where's the green?
Yeah, right.
There you go.
It's not Celtic.
Bad jersey.
I would say, what is this, a Golden Knights jersey? We can't do this here.
Yes.
I want to make fun of Zion Williamson quickly. Can we see the Can we see the tweet? I'm sorry. I have been on television for years saying bro is too fat, okay? That's me. I body shame Zion. I'll own that. Now, Zion, what in the Ozempic happened here? Were you in the weight room?
This is the scary
Or were you just eating grapes?
Look at his upper body.
What happened?
He's built like
He looked like a little kid, George. This is too much weight. He went from one extreme to the other. I needed to balance. Zion, this is all I needed from you, bro. This is all. I've been asking for this for years. chicken breast, salmon, veggies, weight room. That's all. I think you'd be healthier. You'd keep your explosion.
Feel better, sleep better.
This is not it.
Perform better. And what you laid out too, chicken breast, salmon, ground turkey. Hey, have some steaks. That look, our director Jenny, can we pull up both photos really quick? Let's start with the first one. I think this at a point is also, it encapsulates what is wrong with society.
Cool. Yes.
2024, you're too fat, loses weight. 2025,
you're too skinny.
Too skinny.
He is.
But now let's go to the next photo. When you bring up everything he has, this is what's scary. That is no protein.
Right.
Like that is, he was, look, walking around 6'6", 285.
Yes.
Way too heavy.
Yes.
He did not play more than 30 games, 2 of the last 3 seasons.
Bro.
He wants to bang around in the paint. He's really good when he's on the floor, initiates the offense, that's fine. But he has to completely change his game. And guess what? He doesn't have a 3-point shot to play.
No, he doesn't.
That skinny. That looks like 6'6", his legs are big, so he's going to be heavier, but his upper body and the lack of strength is what worries me. That looks like 6'6", 230.
That's why I said the truth was somewhere in between, because his body broke down because he was too heavy. Jumping up that high. I call him the walking, talking triple-double here. Ante Campbell, our esteemed producer, and he hosts Hold My Banner. He said, Trav, like when you're that heavy and you're jumping as much as him, all that torque on the body, landing on your knees, that's a lot of weight. I agree. But you can't go so far extreme where you're skinny, where, damn, now you're going to break down because you don't have the structure. He's already too short. He was a tweener to begin with.
Yeah.
He would use his size and his weight to bully you, and his strength and his explosiveness.
To be a really small 5.
Who are you moving now? You're not moving anyone. I think the truth was in between. If I was with him or a trainer, like, bro, we got to lose some fat. But we're not losing your entire body structure here. Just lose some fat, keep some muscle, keep your explosion so you can be durable. I don't think his body's going to hold up now because he's too damn frail, George.
And that's it, because if his game is, unless he comes out shooting 46% from 3.
When has he ever done that?
Never. He's never shot better than 35, I think even 32. But if he wants to come back and play his same game, guess what? His body's not going to hold up because he's going to bang around the same, play just as physical.
Oh, my God.
But he's a lot more frail up top. And like you joked about it, of like he did Ozempic. I'm like, no, he can't. But then I looked at it. This is a guy that has never had discipline. When it came to his diet, that was his issue. Really good player, but if he became a professional and had discipline, he would be on the floor for his team, be available, and follow through and actually have a value to his contract. You don't all of a sudden lose that much weight with discipline. It takes time. That does look like Ozempic, which is scary.
And I'm not knocking Ozempic.
No.
But for Zion Williamson, I'm knocking Ozempic.
When you have access to the resources as well, the nutritionists, the weight room, everything an NBA team provides, you can get in the best shape of your life naturally, which also is probably better for your long-term health and better for you as a New Orleans Pelican player. Like, you should do that. He lost like 50 pounds, maybe 60, honestly. Maybe 70, dude. I have no idea. It's scary seeing him look like that. I hope he feels good. I hope he's healthy.
I'm sure he feels great.
I hate that we're getting into all of this, but like looking at that, that's startling. And I don't know what he's going to look like as an NBA player.
That's it.
Because that build, he literally looks the same size as Herb Jones.
Yes.
That's a perimeter defender and a shooter.
Oh my gosh.
Zion Williamson's strength is him playing the 5, a small ball 5, or maybe a 4. I don't know, man.
Good luck, New Orleans. Glad it's not our problem here. We got enough problems with the Celtics. We don't need that. Hey, let me ask you this. Who's a top 5 quarterbacks in the league? How about top 10? Now let me ask you this.
Easy.
Where's Drake Maye? Is he close to 10? Is he close to 5? Is he?
No.
Where do you have him? We're going to talk about it next, right
It
here.
reminds me of a guy in my top 5.
Facts. On Boston has entered the chat. Roll with us.
2, actually.
Yeah, just hurting ourselves. It hurts. You know, I think it's one of those things that, just kept piling on, and I think Big Morgan Moses brought the team together, brought the offense together, and went back and we scored. I hit Hunt, and then we got the ball back tied, and it costed us. So it hurts. I think it hurts. I think something to learn from. It was a long season. The defense played their butts off, and the guys in the locker room are playing hard. They're fighting hard. So it's tough and it stings, and just knowing we hurt ourselves, and that's what costed us.
It did cost us, Drake. It definitely did. Back inside our Salem 5 studios. He does. Hey, listen, every time Drake's at the podium, I like him more and more. He looks 12 years old, okay? We were talking about that during the soundbite. Like, man, bro is so young. but he is wise beyond his years how he carries himself. He carries himself as a leader, which brings us to the conversation of George and I and everyone here at Nesson debate in the newsroom all the time, top 5, top 10 quarterbacks in this league. And look, Drake Maye, I think we can all agree, is not near any of those lists right now. But when you start breaking down top 5, we'll start there. When you start breaking down top 5 quarterbacks in this league, they all share certain characteristics. They all share certain traits.
Yeah.
Drake Maye has some of those. So let's start with our top 5, and then it will kind of trickle into where Drake Maye is and how can he get closer to that. Let's go with number 5 here. I'm going to go Joe Burrow, top 5. And I know people say, well, why do you have him at 5 and not higher? It's because he gets hurt all the time. And now I blame the Bengals more than I do Joe.
Yeah, turf toe, the ACL.
But the fact of the matter is,
you see him last year, he was the MVP of the season.
And what's the famous saying? Best ability is availability.
Yeah.
My man's always hurt.
I need that team to help.
When he's healthy, he's a dog. He's the only one out of the core group of these young quarterbacks who have beat Mahomes, him and Hurts now, who have beat Mahomes. So I got to go Burrow, but I have him at 5 because of the injury.
I have Justin Herbert 5th, and I have Joe Burrow 4th. I still have Burrow. It's tough to keep him in there. He's always injured. I would love to see him literally push his way out, get to another team. He won't do that, though, because he's a leader, and he wouldn't do that to Jamar Chase. But I have Herbert 5th, Burrow 4th. Who do you got at 4?
I have Josh Allen.
That's insane.
He's
the first or second best
exactly,
quarterback.
much like Burrow.
He's 1 or 2.
I think people could pick, my spot on this list between both of those guys. I think Burrow could be higher, and I think Josh Allen could be higher. And I wouldn't argue with you. I would say I get it, but I would just explain to you why. I have Josh Allen 4th simply because Josh Allen needed help. He was Superman forever, and he couldn't win. He still hasn't won anything technically.
Okay.
But Josh Allen got much better and became an MVP when, voila, he got a run game. What a concept.
Yeah.
I think that matters. And I think Josh Allen, some of the guys I have above him, have done it alone. Mm-hmm. Josh Allen, when he was alone, threw a lot of picks, and it cost the Bills in big moments. I love Josh Allen. Don't get me wrong. I think he's Superman. I think he can leap tall buildings in a single bound. But he is not number 1 on my list, or 2 or 3. He's number 4.
He is the run game. James Cook
is
great.
Not now. He's not.
He had 15 rushing touchdowns 2 years ago, 12 the following year.
He has a run game now.
30 rushing yards. Yeah, but he also doesn't have an elite wide receiver. And I think what makes these guys top 5, though, is they can all succeed in spite of their situation.
Sure.
Josh Allen, what he's doing now with Khalil Shakir being his best wide receiver, that guy is going to have the Bills making an AFC title / a Super Bowl run.
Yep.
We'll get into where it is the rest.
All right.
4, you can argue the Burrow, whatever. Allen at 4, he should be 1 or 2 on your list. Who do you got 3?
Lamar.
I have Lamar 2. I have Mahomes 3 this year.
I respect Lamar. I respect Lamar's growth as a passer. I really do. Like, you remember those early years when Lamar's cooking, and the one thing people could say, well, he can't stand in the pocket, he can't do this, he can't do that. He can do all that now. You don't hear any of those people now. Yeah. Now the naysayers for Lamar say, well, he can't win in the playoffs. Okay, we'll see.
If Mark Andrews catches that pass.
But I'm not going to play that game with peeps, right? Like, if you watch Ravens playoff games and you think Lamar's a problem, I can't help
He's why they're in it.
But his growth as a passer has been remarkable, and I don't think he gets enough credit. He's 3 on my list. Sounds like he's 3 on yours as well.
I have him 2. I have Mahomes 3, which is hard, because if Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes want to go, let's just open it up and go scorched earth, then he would be number 1. He's the most talented guy at the position. He's the best quarterback. He has 3 rings. He is clutch. If he has a lead late in the game, you're done. You're cooked. Or if he has just enough time on the clock, you're cooked. Mahomes is the most talented we've ever seen in the position. He's the best in the league right now. But his defense has changed, and he's a reason we see so much cover 2 high shell to keep everything in front of them. And also, his lack of weapons is hurting him. He's a victim right now of this offensive line being bad and the receiving group of Brett Veach not dropping his ego and thinking Hollywood Brown would figure it out, and Tyquan Thornton. And Travis Kelce getting washed as well.
Yep.
Once he gets his weapons back in line, though, he'd go to number 1. But because of what these guys have done, my top 2, I have Lamar 2, Josh Allen 1. Okay. What they've done the last couple seasons, there comes a point right now, I'm looking at it and I go, Josh Allen is playing better football. Lamar Jackson's playing better football. But Patrick Mahomes, he wears Superman's cape, and he's the only reason that Chiefs offense can move right now. So it says a lot about him. My 1, 2, 3, that's like the tier, right? That is it. Then 4, 5, there's a drop-off. And when you get beyond 5, there's a whole different thing. But 1, 2, 3, It should be on every list, in my opinion. It's Mahomes, it's Josh Allen, it's Lamar Jackson. Then 4, 5, and beyond, everyone's different. The top 3 guys in the league right now are no doubt about it, those 3.
Before we get into how Drake can get into this club, just reviewing here, you have Herbert, Burrow, Mahomes, Lamar, and Josh, yes? No Jalen Hurts, why?
He's not top 5. He's really good. He's top 7 in my eyes. But that's a guy that what his game is too right now. It's make a read or scramble. It's make a read in a great system and make that throw. Now, he was clutch in the Super Bowl when they needed him to do it. But how did he get there? The Offensive Player of the Year, Saquon Barkley, not just the best running back in the game, one of the best offensive weapons. Behind an all-world, all-pro offensive line with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, playing with the best defense in the league as well, with all that. That was a super team. We will look back 5, 10, 15 years from now, and that Eagles team that won last year and should repeat this year, we're going to go, that was an all-time team. Lane Johnson, future Hall of Famer. Saquon, he has a ring. If he gets another, he could be that. Jalen Hurts, if he gets another, he could be a future Hall of Famer too. They have so many guys that, with A.J. Brown, Saquon, Jalen Hurts, he's top 7. Saquon's the best. A.J. Brown, top 5. Lane Johnson, Jordan Mailata, top 3 tackles at both of their spots. Jalen Carter, arguably the best defensive line. It's all across that roster where if I say he's not top 5, there isn't that knock. You could be number 7 and be really good because he won a Super Bowl. But I also look at it too. If you switch Jalen Hurts with Josh Allen's position, what is that Bills offense going to be? Run heavy, good. It'll be the 2022 Eagles. Good, winning games, not making a playoff run. If you put a Baker Mayfield on that Eagles team, they're winning the Super Bowl. If you put a Justin Herbert on that Eagles team last year, they're winning a Super Bowl. The guy threw 3 interceptions last year with one of the worst wide receiving rooms and a banged up offensive line and no run game. Like, there are guys that overcome and in spite of succeed, and there are guys that succeed because of their situation. Jalen Hurts, I would take him, but the way I look at top 5, those are the guys. And I would not take anyone over those top 5. Who would I take over Josh Allen right now? Nobody. Who would I take over Patrick Mahomes, Lamar, or Josh Allen right now? I would not take Jalen Hurts over any of these guys.
Well, listen, I cannot argue that the Eagles are loaded. Where I will argue is your Jalen Hurts take is absurd. I have Jalen Hurts 2 on my list. And I
think that's absurd.
And I have Patrick.
You have Jalen Hurts above Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson.
I sure do.
The purity of playing the position when it comes to arm strength. He's athletic. His arm strength isn't that great. He can make a deep ball throw. He can make throws. But what Josh Allen does, what Patrick Mahomes does, what Lamar does as well, their accuracy and their arm strength, they eliminate when there's no windows. They can make throws only they can make.
Absolutely.
Jalen Hurts, other people can make the throws he makes.
If I'm making a quarterback in a lab, I'm consulting with you. If I am building a winning possibly dynasty franchise, this is my list. Hurts and Mahomes 1 and 2. I have Mahomes 1 and Hurts 2 because I'm sick and tired of watching them in the G-damn Super Bowl every year, but they keep getting there for a reason. Both of these guys are winners. That's why I'm going 1 and 2. I think Mahomes and Hurts are 1 and 2.
I would take Matt Stafford, Jaden Daniels over Jalen Hurts. You can say if Jordan Love continues his trajectory and stays healthy, he's more talented than Jalen Hurts, and he can be better. And we'll see what he does with a stacked team, too. He has a stacked team around him. Run game isn't as good. Offensive line isn't as good. Wide receivers aren't as good. But his ceiling is so much higher. Baker Mayfield shows up, finds a way to win. Again,
he does.
Put him on that Eagles team last year. They're winning the Super Bowl with Baker Mayfield.
This is what I wrote down to myself before I built this list. Traits include winning as a bus driver and not the rider in the back. Physical traits of being able to throw football over those mountains and the ability to move. I value that more than most, I suppose, but I think it's important in modern football. And above all these is leadership, which is why I have 1 and 2, Mahomes and Hurts, because those are the guys winning all the rings.
Josh Allen is a leader. Lamar's a leader. You're disputing these guys. Burrow.
I'm not disputing. I'm just giving you my list.
He is too.
This is where Drake enters the chat. Those last 2 lines of this. The ability to move and above all leadership. Drake has all those. Drake can throw a football over the mountains.
Yeah, he has that ceiling.
He has all the physical traits you need, from the throwing ability to the rushing ability to the leadership. I just told you coming into the segment, hearing him at the podium, every time I hear him talk, I'm like, this kid, I want him to slow down a little. He's a little, but he's a leader.
That's his UNC.
And that's who he is.
Last year, he could have thrown everyone under the bus.
Yes.
My offensive coordinator is doing it for a first year. My head coach has no organization, doesn't know how to lead the team. My offensive line's are worse in the league. My wide receiving room's worse in the league. We don't have a run game. He always fumbles. He takes full accountability.
Yes.
And it's his arm strength. It's his athleticism. It's his post-snap decision-making. This guy right now is coming up in the same way I just see so much Justin Herbert in him.
Yep.
I don't think he has the same arm strength as Josh Allen, where Allen, a football could be no further than 12 yards above the ground, and it can go 100 yards. That's what it feels like watching him go. His command, he can make every throw. But Drake Maye, he has a foundation that a Justin Herbert has. It took time with Herbert. He had to overcome 2 dumb head coaches. He had no wide receiver help at all until he got Ladd McConkey. They finally get Jim Harbaugh in the building, where Mike Vrabel is similar to a Jim Harbaugh. They're trying to get him a run game. They finally have him an OC. He has a foundation when it comes to his skill set. The football structure around him is finally starting to make sense. But he's far from
How do we get there?
Conversation.
How do we get there?
You're going to have to take patience. And this is a guy, I've said it, like he will one day ink a contract, $500 million. There's 2 things with that. It's what he has in his talent. It's where the quarterback market is going. But I'm not signing him to that contract right now. And if I'm the Patriots, I would hope to give him that extension after year 3. I think it's going to take a little more time. I would do that if I'm the Pats because I want to get ahead of the market.
You'll give him $500 next offseason?
You're going to end up saving money. Again, we could get caught up in the total number. It would be the AAV or it could be the guaranteed money, right? What did Trevor Lawrence get? $250 million guaranteed, right? It's around that. But the point I'm making is that I think after year 4, that's when we'll see the contract come through. What will it take? He has to cut down on the turnovers. He has to hold on to the football. He has to be smarter with his decision-making with some of the interceptions. His mechanics are still wild. But watch Josh Allen in 2018 and 2019. He was a running back. His completion percentage was sub 60%. He had no mechanics to him at all. Brian Dable got with him, cleaned that up,
quarterback
built
whisperer.
a system around him. And what do they have with him right now with Josh Allen? Joe Brady, who understands how to get the most out of Josh Allen. There has to be that marriage where you have to give patience to a quarterback, you have to let him develop, and Drake Maye is still very raw in a lot of aspects. We're watching him up at that press conference. That man does not have a speck of facial hair.
No.
He just turned 23.
He's so young.
He's going to hit another growth spurt, which is insane to think. He's going to get bigger, faster, stronger.
And he's already.
It's a matter of the mentals. And with all that comes a composure. Jalen Hurts, man, as composed as can be. What do you do in that comeback against the Rams, which is a really good defensive front, right? Patrick Mahomes, as composed as can be. Joe Burrow, same thing. What I love about Burrow and what Drake Maye has that Burrow has, Joe Burrow will throw an interception, he'll throw another, he'll make that same throw, and the third time it'll be a game-winning touchdown. What did Drake Maye do in his debut against the Texans last year? Had an incompletion, sail over a wide receiver, same spot, threw it again, bad pass. Third time around, hip-hop Douglas, long completion. He'll go back because he knows he can make the throw. It's blending it and giving yourself more confidence than arrogance. You have to have it to be an elite quarterback, but the confidence in your throws to keep going back to it, he needs to slow down his mechanics. He needs to slow down his processing. That will give Drake Maye and allow him to be the greatness he can be.
Who's in your top 5, and how does Drake Maye get there?
I can't believe you have heard
617-790-0928. The party's over here on Nesson, but we're partying on Nesson Nation. Roll with us every Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. here, 9 a.m. there. Be there or be square.
Herbert's throwing 50 touchdowns at the Eagles, bro.